Hi and welcome to Unit 2. Just to remind you, in Unit 1 we covered your own approach to managing children's behaviour. In this unit we'll be looking at the needs of children linked to how they behave. When we're looking at the needs of children, we should think about what they need in order to grow, learn and develop in a safe environment, as well as learn how to manage their feelings and their behaviour. One way of looking at this is to use the Maslow hierarchy of needs model. Maslow was an American psychologist, and in 1943 he developed this model which looks at the needs of human beings. So let's just take a look at each of these and decide how they link to the needs of children. For example, the level of basic needs refers to needs which include clothing, shelter, food and water. And at the level of safety and security, needs include having a safe environment and feeling safe emotionally. This could also refer to the need for children to have routine in the setting, as it gives them structure and security. And at the level of love and belonging, needs include feeling that you belong, friendship and a loving environment. Esteem needs refers to needs including a feeling of self-respect, being valued and dignity. And lastly, needs around self-actualization include reaching our full potential and feeling proud when goals have been achieved. Having gone through those needs, I'd now like you to think about how a child might behave if these needs have not been met. For example, for the level of basic needs, if a child doesn't receive adequate food or water, this could affect their ability to concentrate and could mean that the child may be withdrawn, quiet and maybe uncooperative. Take just a couple of minutes now to write down how a child might behave if the needs have not been met in the levels of safety and security, love and belonging, esteem needs and self-actualization, and try to think of at least 2 points for each level. So how did you do with that activity? Hopefully you came up with some points, and here are a few ideas for you. For the level of safety and security, the potential effect if this need isn't met could be crying, not taking part in activities that the child may feel unsafe, and a lack of routine and structure may cause the child to feel bored, become frustrated and maybe even hit others. For the level of love and belonging, the potential effect if this need isn't met could be that the child becomes clingy and doesn't want to leave their parent when they're dropped off in the morning. The child may even become scared or withdrawn. And for the level of esteem needs, the potential effect could be destructive or aggressive behaviour, as needs are not being met and a child may also throw tantrums to attract attention. And lastly, when we look at self-actualization, the potential effect could be a loss of confidence, becoming quiet, withdrawn, and not wanting to join in. So you can see that Maslow's hierarchy of needs is a really useful tool to keep in mind when thinking about the behaviour of children, and could explain at times why they behave the way they do. A lack of meeting these needs could also lead to triggers that may affect a child's behaviour. A trigger could be anything that starts or sets off the behaviour. For example, this could be something that another person, adult or child, does or says, or something in the environment. I'd like you just to take a minute now to make a list of all the triggers you can think of. Just to start you off, one idea is that a child may be feeling unwell, and that can make them withdrawn, quiet, or even disruptive in some cases. Take a minute now to write down your ideas and I'll see you shortly. So, how did you get on with writing down those ideas? Here are some ideas that you can compare with yours. A change at home, for example, a death in the family, a new sibling, or parents separating. This can create instability at home, as a lack of routine through change can affect children's behaviour. Children should be used to a routine which helps them to feel safe emotionally. Tiredness. A child or toddler may feel tired and therefore become disruptive or withdrawn. It's useful to note the time of day that a child displays this behaviour. For example, is it at meal times or nap times? Feeling too hot or too cold is another possible trigger. Children may become quite dehydrated when playing, and dehydration can make children drowsy, lethargic and withdrawn. Remember the link we made with basic needs in the Maslow hierarchy of needs model. And teething. Babies and toddlers can become quite fretful when teething and can be in some pain, so bear this in mind. Note that biting may be seen as normal when a child is teething. However, this will be covered in more detail in Unit 4. Transition can include moving rooms in a nursery, starting with a new childminder, or moving on to school. And if this isn't managed correctly and gradually, some children can become quite aggressive and disruptive when they're experiencing unfamiliar people or strange environments. If you do notice a change in a child's behaviour, whether it's suddenly or over a period of time, you should always ensure accurate observation and documentation. In the cases where abuse may be suspected because you have noticed a change in a child's behaviour, always follow your safeguarding policy in line with the EYFS. It's vital that you monitor the triggers or things that can affect a child's behaviour, and this will help you to plan ahead when managing children's behaviour. Can you think of any other triggers to add to the list? So well done! You've reached the end of Unit 2, where we've looked at the needs of children linked to how they behave, as well as some of the triggers.